What it do, guys? You know who it is. Your boy CelliiCell. We're back for another Stay Woke podcast. I've been getting a lot of good feedback on the video. I'm really thankful for that. Thank you to everybody that checks in with me on all my videos now and is showing support. It's definitely pushing me to push more and stick to my YouTube stuff. So I appreciate that. But today is going to be a little more directed toward mental health. Today we're going to get in depth on mental health, my mental health, ways to cope with your mental health, realign your life, and stuff like that. So, tell us a little bit about your journey with mental health. I've been through a lot of stuff with mental health. I'm gonna let you guys know, like, I grew up in a really troubled household. I have a lot of family that's sporadic and all over the place. A lot of people that have never once, like, probably faced any emotion that they have within themselves. So that's transferred into me growing up. And of course, I had to deal with the repercussions of that. But I mean, mental health has always been an issue that I've dealt with. I don't want anybody to feel like, because I do have such a strong mindset about how I think and that I'm just like ahead. I don't feel things. But everything that I preach to everybody else is stuff that I preach to myself, and it's stuff that I know that will help me and help others in the times that they need it most. And when I was younger, I didn't have the clarity I had now. I was surrounded with everything that I was explaining, gang members, drug addicts, anger, people unhappy with themselves and their situations and feeling stuck in their situations and not knowing how to get themselves out, so I never really had that mental structure. I went through a lot. Like, I did a lot for attention when I was younger because, of course, I wanted attention from my family. But when I was younger, I used to, cut on myself and do all this stuff that I thought was going to help me with my pain. But really, I'm just causing myself more and more pain by causing myself physical harm and bringing the harm that's going on within my head to the outside. And now it's my physical harm. And now I'm really allowing it to hurt me, So when I was younger, like, I thought that's what was normal. I saw a lot of people all over the place doing it, posting it, and stuff like that. And I ended up following that. And, I still have scars that I look back to nowadays, and I'm just like, why? But like I said, when I look at the perspective I had in that moment, like, I did not understand how to deal with my emotion. I had nobody to really speak to, or really, I didn't even have the clarity of myself enough to speak to anybody about how I felt because I didn't know how I felt. So I was just running around, trying to find ways to cope with everything that I was going through. And, that was kind of where it all started with me running through the streets. I've been on the streets multiple times throughout my life. And the craziest part is I never had to be. My mom has always had an open door for me. She would never kick me out, but I just always felt so alone growing up that I just felt more comfortable being on the run all the time. When I was younger, before I could leave the house, I was always staying over at a friend's house, trying to avoid the problems at home with my mom and my dad. And I remember vaguely, like, this conversation I had with my friend's parents, and looking back at it now, like, it probably wasn't like a really good thing for me to be speaking to them about. But, like, I remember telling them that I didn't want to go home, and they would ask me, like, why don't you want to go home? Obviously, because, like, I'm young. Like, at that time, I'm probably like 14, telling them, like, I don't want to go home. I want to stay with you guys. Like, obviously, it makes it seem like there's something really big going on at home, which there was, but it wasn't something that, especially my friend's parents, I was living in Huntington or Costa Mesa, California, and I was hanging around better kids than I could have been, so they were doing a lot better. They didn't really understand my struggle, and obviously I didn't understand my struggle enough to explain to them. But just that right there just kind of like showed me that obviously that's the life that I don't want my kids to have to feel, because their safety should be their home. My safety should have been my home. And my mom, I know for a fact, like, her whole goal all the time was to make home, my safe place. But it doesn't mean that it was what felt like that to me, right? But growing up, like, especially at a younger age, it's hard to deal with a lot of the emotions that you're dealing with. And still to this day, I still deal with mental health issues. I have a lot better tendencies than I did before. I know how to control my emotion a little more. I have a better understanding of myself, which I really think has helped me get ahead of my mental health problems and not be sitting in my head so much, because I know it's temporary. Anybody right now, like, if you're watching my video and you're going through something, like, it is temporary. I promise you, like, you won't feel this way forever. So don't, like, feel like you have to, like, just get up and do something now. the most important thing that you could do is really feel it and tell yourself that you're never gonna ever give up, no matter how hard it gets, no matter how hurt you are, no matter how dead end you got. The whole point is that you're gonna feel every single thing you're supposed to feel, because those feelings are detrimental in helping you grow as an individual. Those are detrimental in helping you pass knowledge on to your kids or your friends or your family. Like, you gotta understand, like, and you know, it's one thing to not give a fuck about anybody, but if you really care about the people you love, like, understand the people you love need you more than you need yourself. And there's a lot of people, especially if you have the knowledge and the power within yourself to come to these realizations, there's a lot of people that need those realizations. You know, there's times where I needed somebody to just come there and tell me something, to just give me an idea that I'm not just running into the darkness and gonna fall on my face. My mind was my greatest enemy. It still is my greatest enemy. And for anybody, it probably is. Like, it's one thing for someone to sock you, shoot you, kill you. You know, like, those are all like physical harm. But I told you, like, the harm that people feel within their mind is a whole different level of, you know, hurt. Like, you can't get away from that. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not a point of running from it. It's a point of knowing that it's going to be there, knowing how to move yourself around it, and understanding that some days are going to rain. And without those rainy days, you wouldn't love how sunny it is outside, right? You know, I want you guys to feel like you're not alone. Obviously, like, we're speaking through a screen, but you're not alone. You know, I've been through it. I'm still going through it. I'm no therapist, but I'm definitely a person that's been around the block enough to tell you what block to not go around and which one you should probably go around. You know, I've been in the same situations. I've contemplated suicide before in my life. I've written a goodbye letter. You know, I've attempted, you know, but at the end of the day, like, at this point in my mind, I would never give up this beautiful life that I've been able to live, you know. And I honestly, like, I'm thankful for everything I've been through. I'm thankful for all the pain, all the tears, all the knocking my head against the wall. You know, I'm thankful for the 2 beautiful babies I have brought into the world so far. I'm thankful to have my mom. Like, I'm thankful for everything. So I think you guys just have to reframe your perspective so you can find peace in the area that you are, you know, because even when I didn't have nothing and I'm still don't have everything, you gotta be able to love yours, you know. Like, you gotta be able to understand what you have is what you have now, and if you want more, you can definitely have more. If you don't want to have none, you're not. If you tell yourself you won't, you likely won't. If you tell yourself you will, you likely will. You just gotta keep your head up. How has your mental health journey influenced your career or personal goals? I think my mental health journey has definitely influenced majority of everything I do in my life. I mean, without all, like, the trials and tribulations I've been through, I would have definitely not been to the place that I am now. There's something in the tea here. Is there anything there? So first, it made me understand what it feels like to be at rock bottom and understand how bad I don't ever want to be there again. Anybody that's been through mental health issues, you've had struggles within your mind that you keep to yourself, you know how heavy the weight of those thoughts can get on you and the way that they can impact your life when you're dealing with them. So I think that me going through so much that I went through with, like, my mental health and stuff, it's given me, like, just a new perspective of my life, a new way that I want to deal with certain things that come into my life. You know, like the stimuli that I deal with in my daily endeavors. I'm just, you know, I learned to move a different way so that I can avoid triggering certain things that I know will hurt me or whatever it is. And also, like, the dark times that I went through, like, they define me as a man. Like, I feel like at this point, like, some of my greatest strengths are what I've been through, like the way that I can express my hardships and the wisdom that I can give you from my, you know, things that I've been through. So I think that, you know, I just think that it really defined me as a man, and it really showed not only everybody else but myself that I could stand tall even, you know, through hard times, and even when the devil's in your ear, you know, that's when it really challenges. You're not going to always be able to, like, stop certain things that come into your life or people from causing you pain or certain emotions to happen, but you can do your best to kind of, like, separate yourself from certain energies and certain things so that you can live in line with the things that you know are right for you. What advice would you give to somebody who is struggling with mental health issues? First, I would say embrace them, because, you know, those mental health, those challenges, those times where you're in your mind and you're lost and you really don't know what route to go. Those are like I was saying before, the most defining points of a human's life. So I would just say embrace it though, because it really only is going to make you stronger as long as you don't allow it to like sit on your shoulder. Your hardships are good. Like you can use them to help you develop yourself in your life, and you can use them to help you push yourself forward. And embracing them is only going to make you feel stronger. If you look at majority of the people we look up to every day, a lot of them go through mental health struggles, and a lot of them are pretty open with it. You know, people like, for example, Justin Bieber. Like, you know, people don't think of that. There's a lot of our childhood stars that we grew up watching that go through mental health struggles. So the only lesson from that is like everybody is going through it. It doesn't mean everybody is going through it in the exact same way, and we're not sitting here trying to be like, oh, I'm going through it more, I'm going through it less. The whole point is everybody has a struggle that they're dealing with, so it should give you that security and feeling that you're not alone, because you really aren't. And take it from me, from a person that's always been like, oh, people don't understand me. You know, majority of people do. You know, there's a lot of people that are in similar situations that have similar emotions to you, and that you could probably relate to if you found the right people to speak to. I would say you have to put yourself in more high vibrational environments, because your mind is always going to keep you low, but there are things that can help you lift yourself back up. And this is really important, because this kind of goes back on the emotion thing. Like when you're feeling emotion, of course, you're not going to feel good. You're not going to want to be around people. You're going to feel low. Life's going to feel tough. You know, work's going to feel tough. Your relationships aren't going to feel good. But understand this. No matter who you are, what you are, where you are, how much money you have, how much seniority in life you have, you're always going to have these struggles. And it's important for you to know this instead of just forgetting this in the moment when you need it most. I need to get up and go do something. I should probably go outside. I should probably go on a hike. I should probably call one of my buddies up. That'll probably help me get my mind out of it. I know that I don't like being around screaming. You know, this is just an example. I hate being around screaming. So if people are screaming and I'm starting to get affected by that, what is the best thing that I should do? Sit there and just allow the situation to be what it is, and sit there and deny what I know I'm supposed to be doing, or just leave the room. What you know should overpower what you feel, because you're always going to feel, but what you know can help you with how you feel. I would say find someone you can trust. And if you can't find someone you could trust, I would honestly call the suicide hotline and just tell them to listen. You don't even need them to say anything. You just need somebody that'll sit there and listen to you speak your soul and everything that you're going through, and then that's it. I understand that like sounds really extreme, really kind of out there, but the point is, like, a lot of people don't have somebody just to listen. A lot of us want someone to just listen. Like, there's honestly a lot of people, including myself, that just need to just say stuff. Like, that's why it's important for me to do stuff like this podcast, because no matter what, like, even if my intentions are to offer value to you guys, the more and more I do it, I realize that I decompress my mind, and I say things that are sitting on my mind that, you know, I've been wanting to express to, you know, people, myself, you know. And it just, when you hear it coming out of your mouth, it kind of like just solidifies the fact that you're trying to move forward. You know, like, it's important to have someone to speak to, and if you can have a friend that can sit there and kind of bounce thought back and forth with you, I think that's obviously a really good thing that'll help you out in the long term. Not only will it help like you, but it'll probably help your friends too, because you have to understand you are not alone. Like, there's a lot of people that feel the same, so maybe your friend needs it too. How have you found ways to cope with and manage your mental health struggle? Like I said before, I've removed myself from environments I don't feel comfortable in. If I feel like it's too negative, I'm not going to go. If I know that if I'm surrounded by things I don't like, I'm not going to go. That's the majority of the reason why I don't party. I mean, I like to get fucked up, but I don't want to get fucked up with a bunch of people who are getting fucked up because their lives are going down. They don't know how to deal with their problems. You know, like, if I'm going to get messed up, if I'm going to have a couple of drinks or smoke or hang out with my, you know, I'd rather be around people I can trust, and people I feel the energy is clear and it's not cluttered and fogging up my brain. Like, that, it's just not good for you. You guys got to understand, majority of your environment is the reason that you are who you are. Hang around 9 sad people, you're going to be the 10th sad person, you know. So the point is, surround yourself with people you want to be like, you desire to be like, you want to feel like, and watch your life feel better. I also don't share my failures with people. You know, I have ability to realize my wrongs by myself, and I also realize I hate people to tell me where I went wrong, so I have to find a balance in between that, which means I have to tell myself when I went wrong. And I don't want people to chalk me up by my failures, because I've done a lot of good things too. But no matter how many good things you do in life, if you do one bad thing, people are gonna use that bad thing to define you. And I do stuff that I enjoy. I love to drive cars. I surround myself with more cars. The reason that I even started tinting and wrapping cars. I love cars. It makes me happy, brings me genuine joy. I don't have to force myself to like it. It's easy, so when I surround myself with stuff I like, it's easy. I spend a lot of time by myself in my room. It's easy. When I want to do something I do it, because my life is not 100% driven by making money or fucking the cutest girl or whatever it is. I love the life that I live. I want to see more of the world. I want to have memories. I want more wisdom to pass on to my kids. I want more personal time with my children, that I spend more time with people I love, because it brings me happiness genuinely, and that's exactly what I need in these times. And when I feel something, I actually feel it, and that's something that it's easy to say, it's harder to do. But like I said, just because I'm feeling something doesn't mean I am what I'm feeling, and I understand that I feel stuff outside of what I want to feel. I understand that I might wake up mad today. I'm not a mad person, so I know I'm not mad because I'm a mad person. I'm mad because today is just not my day. I understand when I feel something, and I understand how to go about when I feel something. I understand how to tell people I want to be alone. I understand when I want to do something. If I'm a very sporadic minded person, so a lot of time I do a lot of things that aren't in unison, but it's just because I have days where I wake up and sometimes I want to do this, sometimes I want to do that, sometimes I want to live like this, sometimes I want to live like that. That's just truly who I am. How has the conversation about mental health evolved during your lifetime, and where do you see it leading in the future? If you were to ask me where my mind was at a few years back, I'd probably tell you I don't want to be here. I'd probably tell you that I want to be alone and I don't need nobody, and I'm better off by myself and stuff like that. But obviously that was just my perspective at that time. If you were to ask me now, it's a completely different answer. You'd feel a lot more joy and happiness from my heart, a lot more sincerity, a lot more liveliness. I develop a lot. I change a lot. I literally can change every day. I could have something happen that's like an epiphany moment for me. Now, I embrace my mental health. I embrace my problems. I'm happy to say that I failed. I'm happy to say that I'm not perfect. I'm happy to say that I'm in progress. And I think that I find more happiness in that now than I would have ever, because I was so broken then. I felt broken. I didn't feel like I could ever do anything better with my life. But now that I'm in this mindset and I've grown to be this man, I'm happy to be the man that I am. I'm happy to be able to use my voice in the way that I do, and help the people that I'm able to do, because this man only was raised from those struggles. I'm like a rose that grew up out of concrete. And my mental health will only continue to be better. I'm never gonna stop taking care of my mind, because I know the day that I stop taking care of my mind is the day that my mind takes care of me, and it takes over me, and it's over. Because I've been there. I'm telling you guys, the reason that I even move how I move, and I'm so serious about what the hell I'm saying, is because I'm never going back to the places I've been before. And that's something I feel like you guys got to develop too. You will never put yourself back in a position you don't want to be in. If you know you don't want to be in it, don't be in it. If you know that's not the life that you want to live, then don't live it. You have to be the master of your fate. You can't allow the life to be the master of you. Mental health is no joke. I want you guys all to know I'm sincerely here for what you guys feel. I'd love for you guys to comment down below and let me know if anything that I said helped you out, or is pushing you to be a better person from here on out, or anything resonated with you. If you have something you want to say to me or vent to me, of course, I'm an open place for you guys to do that. I want everybody to feel like I'm a safe haven. And, these podcasts are for you guys not only to gain knowledge, but for you guys to see that we are in a similar position regardless of how far I get or you get. No matter what the status quo of somebody is, they all share the same, issues as a human. So don't ever feel alone. Don't ever feel like you are at rock bottom, because there is so much more in your life that's going to go and show you. And like I said before, we only die once, so live every single day like it's your last day, and love everybody that's around you, and treat everybody with respect, and your life will treat you with respect. And you'll likely feel a lot better moving forward. So that's it for today's podcast on mental health with Stay Woke. I'm so thankful for everybody to watch this. Obviously I'm just sitting here babbling in front, so I'm gonna just keep on doing it. If you guys love it, you love it. If you don't, I don't really care. I'm still gonna do it. So thank you for watching Stay Woke Podcast today with CelliiCell, and we will catch you